So we're going to go through bearings now. And we're just using the Cambridge textbook, chapter 4C for this. Okay, so two types of bearings. There's compass bearings and there's true bearings. Right, so we'll go through compass bearings now. Right, so I don't know if any of you have ever been hiking before, but you use something called a compass and it always points to north. Or, you know, even on your phones as well. I remember back in the day when I had like a iPod Touch, forgot which version it was, but you'll always have the compass on there. And then when I like couldn't play games or something because there's no Wi-Fi, I would always just be like playing with the compass. So weird, but like that's a compass, right? Always points to north, right? North, east, south, and west, right? These points, so east is 90 degrees away from north. Right, south is 180, west is 270, and then north is 360/0, right? And each of these points in here, so northeast, is going to be 45 degrees away, right? So forth for the rest of these, 135 degrees, etc. All right. So let's just get into some questions now. So find the compass bearing of A from O. So of A from O, right? If there's 30 degrees difference from here, we're going to say that it is 30 degrees. So it's north 30 degrees and it's pointing to the east, right? When you're like labeling compass bearings, you're going to have different quadrants. So you can have north, east, southeast, southwest, and northwest, right? These are your different quadrants, right? Just something to be aware of, right? And what about the compass bearing of B from O, right? So let's have a look at this, right? If this is 120 degrees, so here to here is 120 degrees, right, as labeled. We can kind of think of it as like a cake. So let's say we have this cake here, right? And there are 120 slices in this cake, right? We draw a line over here, right? Meaning that's, right? So between here, this line and this line, right? There are 90 slices, right? Full thing, there's 120, but between here and here, there is 90. Right? How much would be here? Right? 120 minus 90 is 30. Right? So 30 degrees. This is going to be 30 degrees. But that's not what we're trying to do, right? When we're doing compass bearings, right, we really want to nail where in the quadrant it is, right? So it can either be south, or let's rephrase that, right? This bearing here is in the southeast quadrant, right? So it's going to be southeast, right? And then a degree in the middle. What is that degree though? Right? When you're doing compass bearings, it either starts from north or from south, right? So it can either be north something east or south something east. And it's how far away from north or south it is, right? So if this is 30 degrees here, right, we're just calculating how far away this 30 degrees is from south, right? 90 minus 60 is equal to 30 degrees, or 90 minus, gave away the answer. 90 minus 30 is equal to 60 degrees. So 60 degrees away from south, so it's going to be south, 60 degrees east. Right, just like that. All right, let's get on to another question. Right, we've got true bearings. Right, and true bearings are just how far away from north, right? Not which quadrant it is, it's just how far away from north is it. So if we have a look at these, what is the bearing of C from O? Right, if we know this is 120 degrees, then we're just going to say it's 120 degrees away from north. What about this one here, where we've got 60 degrees between here and here? Right, two ways to do it. Right, we can either realize that the west marker is 270 degrees away from north, and this one is 60 degrees from this west marker. So it's just 270 plus 60, right? And that equals 330. Or we can do it by recognizing that this angle here is 30 degrees, right? Because 90 minus 60 is equal to 30. And then we can do 360 minus 30, which equals to 330 degrees. So whichever one, is up to you. Right, just want to get into some questions. Oh, that's another thing. Forgot this. True bearings always put T, right? So, right, if this one's 210 degrees T. All right, let's get into some more questions of these. Right, so this one here, right, B, what is the true bearing? Right, we know that this is 360 degrees here. Right, this is 360, and there's 63 degrees here. Right, 360. All we have to do is 360 minus 63, which equals to 297. Right, so 297 degrees T, and then the compass bearing of this, right, is going to be in the northwest quadrant, so it's going to be northwest something. Right, how far away from north is it? It's 63 degrees away from north, so 63 degrees west. North 63 degrees west. Let's go to another question. Right, let's go to this one here. All right, so 280 degrees, so pretty easy, right? The true bearing is going to be 283 degrees away from north. And then the compass bearing is going to be, right, in this northwest quadrant. Right, how far away is it? Right, we know that this is 270 degrees, right, and this is 280 degrees, right? So all you have to do is minus them to get this angle in here. That's 13. So it's going to be, this is going to be 13. Let me draw this out here. 13 degrees is going to be in here. All right. And then we have to calculate how far away from north is that. Right. 90 minus 13 is equal to 77. I always put like things in my calculator just to double check. Yeah, 77 degrees. So it's going to be northwest 77 degrees. All right, just do one more. This one. How far away from north is this? Right, if this angle here is 250 and the full thing is 360, right, this angle here would be 360 minus 250. That equals to 110. Right, and then if we want the compass bearing, right, we recognize that it's in the southeast quadrant. And this is 110 degrees. Right, here this is 110 degrees. Right, this is 90 degrees. So the difference between 110 and 90, right, is equal to 20. So this here is going to be 20 degrees. How far away is this from south? Right, it's going to be 70. So it's going to be south 70 degrees east. Right. And you don't need to draw all of this, right? I'm just doing this for visualization, right? You could honestly just, right, piece together that this is 110, right? Just put it in your calculator, 110 minus 90, and then 90 minus 20, right? And then you're sorted. Okay, let's just get into a more difficult question, and then we'll head on to the next lesson. let's do, I'm just trying to find, all right, here. Let's do this one. Oscar drives at a speed of 80 kilometers an hour on a bearing of 125 degrees T. So 25 is about here for 2.5 hours, right? How far is Oscar east of his starting position, correct to the nearest kilometer? Okay, so when we're doing this, right, we need that speed equals distance over time thing again, right? So this is 125 degrees. Let me remove this. And zoom in here. 125 degrees. Right, we want to find how east he is. So we want to find this here, x. Right, let's draw a line down here. So he is at this point here. Right, this is 2.5 hours. So first thing, do what we can, right? Just like the Fast Track to Band 6 course, right? Doing what we can, it's the exam prep, right? So let's convert this time into distance. So speed equals distance over time. He's traveling at a speed of 80 kilometers an hour. So 80 equals to distance, which we don't have, over 2.5. Right, so distance is going to equal 80 times 2.5, 200. Right, so this here is going to be 200. Right, if I'm looking at this, I'm seeing I want to find x. How can I find x? I know, right, I can use Pythagoras. So I can use my trig laws. So I can use cosine to find x. All we need is this angle in here, and that is 125 minus 90. So say theta equals 125 minus 90. And that equals to 35 degrees. Right, and then cosine 35 degrees equals to x over 200, right? Because this is a right angle in here, so x equals to 163.83 ... Answer to the nearest kilometer, so that is approximately equal to 164 kilometers. Right, so that's just a run through on bearings. Right, we'll go in more into depth with this with some later HSC questions. But yeah, have a go at some questions of these. Right, and I'll see you in the next lesson.